What's going on, everybody? First of all, let me say this. Happy Christmas Eve to all of you. For those of you that celebrate Christmas or whatnot, happy Christmas Eve to you guys. Now, I want to talk about this whole thing with the Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez situation and how it's bringing about continuation of gender wars within our community. So, as you guys may have heard about the verdict, Tory Lanez is guilty on all accounts. Okay, for illegal possession of weapon and also firing the weapon, etc. Okay, but now I can give my views on that because I don't think it's really fair, and let me explain why. Because according to the witness, right, who was supposed to be Tory witness, there was a woman that shot first before Tory did. Okay, and that woman happened to be Kelsey, the friend, the former best friend of Megan Thee Stallion. All right. So it was said to be that she was the one that fired. But what's ironic is she got immunity. So for those of you that don't know what immunity is, that means that she can request to not testify. All right. So she got that request and they granted her that request. Now my thing is, if it's alleged that she was the one that shot Megan, then both of them should have been locked up, right? Maybe because it's not fair to lock up Tory and let Kelsey get away. It's not fair. And that's just my humble opinion on it. It's really not fair at all. But let's talk about how we allow this situation to bring about the dichotomy, the continuation of dichotomy between black men and women. I'm convinced that a vast majority of the people in our community don't like each other. That's why I'm convinced. Because it's very stupid that you allow a celebrity situation to bring dichotomy amongst men and women. At the end of the day, we don't know. Let me say this, and I'm gonna talk to y'all out there who say, "Well, this girl lying or he's lying, this thing, other." First of all, y'all asses wasn't there. Okay, so you don't know what the fuck done happened. You don't know who did what. Okay, we wasn't there, so we don't know what the fuck happened. You know what I'm saying? So let's just put that out there first. All right. You may not agree with the verdict, and that's fine. That's okay. But do not act like this is every black woman because of what happened to Tory Lane. And do not act like this is every black man because of what happened to Tory Lane. Okay? Let's stop there right now. Let's put that out there. And if we have a bad habit of living through the eyes of these celebrities, as if we live in their lives, as if we make their type of money, or we have their type of status. We do not live the lives of neither one of them. We don't live the lives of Megan. We don't live the life of Tory or Kelsey. You know, it's very funny that we pay attention to these type of issues, but we don't pay attention to what's going on in our community. We really don't. We don't pay attention to the major crisis that's taking place. We don't pay attention to the fact that people getting snatched up and getting kidnapped, people getting raped, people being found dead, or elderly abuse, women being abused on the street, innocent folks being abused. We don't pay attention to none of that. But we sure in the hell we jump on the bandwagon about celebrities as if we live through the eyes of them. You don't live through the eyes of these people, man. And at this point, black men and women, you look stupid. You look dumb as hell to get caught up in that gender war. You look really dumb. Because ain't now one of us is perfect. Everybody got some flaws. And please don't talk that Kevin Samuel bullshit, because Kevin Samuel had many flaws, okay? And then somebody else bring up the woman, what's her name? Crimson or whatever her name is. Crimson. I'm quite sure she got flaws too. Everybody have flaws. So I don't talk about what black women don't take accountability or black men don't take accountability. Guess what? Everybody got to learn how to take accountability. Every motherfucking body got to learn how to take accountability for their own action, their own behavior. So miss me with the bullshit. You know, all that pointing finger and shit, y'all ain't coming up with no practical solution. How to ratify the situation, how to make the situation better. You're not doing it. I mean, what it's going to take for us to understand that we have to coexist? Yes, you identify the problem. Now, once you identify the problem, what is the practical solution? It should not be to the point where we dislike each other. And then you got niggas talking about they gonna go date somebody outside their own race. Then you got bitches talking about they gonna date somebody outside their own race. Get with the program. Let me tell you something. You can go date whoever you want outside your own race. A human is gonna be a motherfucking human. And it really don't do you no good to think because you done dated outside your own race that you really hurting everybody. Okay? Especially if you dating an oppressor. Yeah, I said it. You dating an oppressor. You dating somebody that's come from a group of people that have oppressed us in this country. You really ain't doing nothing. You all you doing is following along with this. You let me tell you something. You following along with the mentality of racism. That's what you're doing. You're following along with the concept of white supremacy. It's funny that people say we fight against white supremacy, but you're not really fighting against white supremacy because you operate from the mindset of white supremacy. What it seems like to me is you're not trying to get rid of the oppression. You want the status. You want that privilege. That's what you want. You want the privilege of your oppressor. That's what it sounds like to me. So miss me with all that bullshit about how black men this and black woman that. Do y'all not realize it's a social problem that y'all motherfuckers dealing with in this country? Do y'all not motherfucking realize y'all fall into the trap of this culture? Culture plays an influence on how we behave and how we think and how we view each other. And y'all don't realize y'all fell into that motherfucking trap because you're too dumb to see it. You know, as a people, we too dumb to see that shit. So all this bullshit, you guys trying to live through the eyes of these people that don't even know you, don't give a damn about you, really. But that's what happens when you deal with media. Media knows how to go about manipulating the mindset of individuals or a group of people. And that's what media exactly does. Media has a way of bringing about manipulation of our mindset and how we view each other and how we see each other. And instead of us trying to educate ourselves on history and how we got to this point, instead of being more sympathetic of each other's situation and be more understanding, we just continue to antagonize and throw it under the bus as if it doesn't matter. Then you want to know why people don't want to talk about nothing, don't even say nothing, and they rather keep their problems to themselves and go to a different route. So again, y'all sit there and y'all allow this gender war to continue to perpetuate. Y'all not trying to learn from each other. Y'all not trying to communicate. It's more of the blame game. It's more of who can we point the finger at? Who is at fault? Or who's the center of the problem of the Black community? That's what it is. Y'all looking for who is the center of the problem of the Black community instead of saying as a people, as a whole, we are collectively responsible for ourselves and what we do to each other. I'm just telling y'all look stupid as fuck. You look dumb as hell. Y'all giving to the bullshit. And the reason why you can't function is because you operate under the concept of the Western ideology. You operate under the concept of patriarchal white supremacy. That's what you operate under. Patriarchal white supremacy. And it got you messed up in the fucking head. It got you all confused. And even those in the schools of thoughts that thinking that they fighting against oppression, you're really not. Those of you in certain school of thoughts, and I ain't gonna name the names that I want to name, but they're not really fighting against oppression. They taking on the ideology, and they just happen to put a black face on it. That's exactly what they doing. They happen to put a black face on there. They're not fighting against the oppression. They're not trying to dismantle the system. They're going right along with it on the low key. So all you motherfuckers out there complaining, all you niggas out there bitching about Black women this, y'all women this, Danielle, to shut the fuck up. Because you ain't bitch to your mama about this shit. Okay? You ain't bitch to your grandmama. It's one thing you bring about concern issue to have a dialogue, but what you're doing, you're nagging. And to all you women out there, all you men ain't this thing other, shut the fuck up. Because you ain't no better. Well, you ain't confront your daddy and how he treats your mama. You ain't confront your daddy. You ain't say, Daddy, why did you treat my mama like this? You ain't confront your granddaddy how he treated your grandmama. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't say shit about the men in your family. You niggas wouldn't say much about the women in your family. Because that's where the shit starts at. If you can't confront the situation at home, then how the hell you going to confront another woman? Or how you going to confront another man? And then another thing that kills me, this whole pick me and simping. Y'all use that shit out of context. I just sit there and I just look at y'all and shake my damn head. And the same niggas they be talking about motherfuckers simping, it's the same ones that be simping. They still living with their baby mamas. They still going after their baby mamas to get sex from her. They chasing after the same women they talk about ain't shit. And you out there fucking. Please miss me with the bullshit. Shut the fuck up. Until you can change that, as far as the type of women that you chase after, that you go get pussy from, don't be talking about nobody damn simp. Because last time I checked, if you still chasing after a toxic ass woman, and you staying with a toxic ass woman, you just as a simp, just like everybody else that you calling a simp. And for all you females out there talking about pick me, y'all be the ones. Y'all be the ones be the pick me types. Y'all be the ones they trying to fight to keep your damn baby daddy around when he don't want to be around, but you want to talk about somebody as a pick me. You want to call somebody a mammy, but you can't get no sorry ass nigga about your damn house, but you want to call somebody a nanny. Or excuse me, a mammy. Sorry about that. You want to call people a mammy, but you can't get no sorry ass nigga about your goddamn house. Make it make sense. You know, what I learned throughout life as an adult, as human, we are our own biggest hypocrite. We are our own biggest hypocrite, okay? We are a walking contradiction. We are the walking contradiction. We want to put we want to put expectation on others, but we don't put those same expectation on ourselves. We want to place expectation on others and not place the same expectation on ourselves. Make it make sense. You can't expect somebody to be this and be that when you ain't bringing about the expectation on yourself. You know, if you ask individuals what they look for in a person, see, especially when it comes from the men, they say, well, women say what they want in a man, but when they describe what they describe as not a man, they describing a bitch. Okay, well, what is that? What is she supposed to look for in a man? What exactly is she supposed to look for in a man? You ain't put that out there. Y'all sit back and listen to Kevin Samuel ass, but you're not telling the woman what is it that she's supposed to look for in a man. Do you know that majority of these women ain't grew up with a man in a motherfucking household? So of course they're gonna go by what they see on TV. Of course they're gonna go by what they see in their environment. Because most of these women did not grow up with motherfucking men in the household. So exactly what is it that she's supposed to look for in a man? If it's not what you think it is, then what is she supposed to look for? And for the women, do you know that a lot of these men grew up in a household with mothers that very toxic, that's emotionally damaged? They grew up in a household with women that are emotionally fucking damaged. And they think they know what they're looking for in a woman. But exactly what are you looking for in a woman? Because I haven't heard it yet. I have not heard any person saying they look for somebody who is a critical thinker. I have not heard anybody say that yet. That I'm looking for a woman who able to have strong critical thinking. I'm looking for a man who is a critical thinker. A woman that knows how to take accountability for her action. A man that knows how to take accountability for his action. And someone who could bring about intellectualism with warriorship. What do I mean by intellectualism and warriorship? That means somebody who's able, who's wise enough, not somebody who just book smart and who went to school, but someone who have enough experience and know how to decipher and know how to maneuver and go about dealing with their environment and how to be able to coexist in their environment. Nobody ever said that. Nobody ever said they need somebody who has that type of that ability of being intelligent and bringing warriorship. Mean that someone who able to know how to protect themselves and protect their environment. Nobody said I need someone who has survival skills and who is teachable, especially when it comes to children. No one said that where I need somebody who is great at dealing with kids. I have not heard those things yet. All I heard is you need somebody who got money, who got good looks, who know how to have sex in the bedroom, who know how to cook, who know how to clean. And there's nothing wrong with that. But those are not just the most important thing of an individual. I mean, those things are important, but they're not the top priority. Okay? Nobody talk about somebody who can be able to make assessment. Somebody who knows how to communicate. Someone who can listen and be understanding. I haven't heard from either party on that one. I haven't heard from either party on that. But it's very funny to me. We got this gender war going on, but we don't know how to sit back and listen and be compromising and understanding of each other. What the fuck y'all getting at? Exactly. What the fuck is y'all niggas getting at? What the fuck is y'all? Y'all ain't getting no motherfucking well. Y'all just going in circle, 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 circle. And you look stupid. You look stupid. You look stupid as hell. I mean, it's going to continue to be a cycle. It's going to continue to be a cycle and be a damn curse. Because you ain't getting no motherfucking well. All you doing is pointing fingers and name calling. That's what the fuck y'all niggas doing. When I say niggas, I'm talking about both men and women. Black men and women especially. All y'all doing is name calling. Y'all ain't doing shit. Y'all just bickering about one another. Bickering, 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 bickering. Everybody can point the finger, but nobody wants to take ownership of what they do. That's right, Cree Money. I agree. Nobody wants to take the ownership of what they do. Because and it's so funny. You can call somebody out, but you can't call yourself out. Ain't that funny? You can't call yourself out because you know why? It's hard. It's hard to look yourself in the mirror and know that you have a lot of impurity. It's hard to look yourself in the mirror and know that there is shadow work that needs to be done. It's hard to look yourself in the mirror and know that you have problems, but you act like you exempt from your own problems. One thing I ain't trying to get biblical, but one thing the Bible says, and I think it's in Matthew's, it says, how can't you take the speck out your brother's eye, but you can't take the plank out of your own eye? How can't you take the speck out your brother's eye, but you cannot take the plank out of your own eye? How? How can't you do that? Is that possible? If only many people understood that they dealing with the pathology. And if people really understand that they are dealing with social problems, social issues, if they understood, I think we can get somewhere. But nobody really sees the bigger picture. It goes beyond black men and women. It's the culture that we live in. Duh. It's the society that we live in. Duh. It's how we have been educated, how we've been marginalized, socially marginalized, how we've been demoralized as a people. But you don't see that. Duh. It's bigger than just a black man problem, just a black woman problem. It's a societal problem. That's what it is. Societal problem. It's how we've been socially stigmatized. But y'all don't want to see that picture. Y'all want to get caught up in the bullshit. And you become a laughing stock. You become a laughing stock. You got these motherfuckers that doing all these dumbass podcasts, both men and women alike, trying to, be experts in shit. But if you ask them motherfuckers, are they in a relationship? They'll tell you no. They'll tell you no, I'm not in a relationship. Well, damn. That's mighty strange. Your ass is single and you trying to wait, huh? Your ass is single and you trying to give our relationship advice? How does that work? So that's why I laugh when I hear men listen to Kevin Samuel. Kevin Samuel was a single man. He was divorced. And he giving y'all relationship advice? And the shit that he say is laughable. It is fucking laughable and unbelievable. Now, there's certain things he was telling the truth about. There's certain things he was telling the truth about. Don't get me wrong. There's certain things that he was telling the truth about. But the rest of that shit was laughable. It's ridiculous. I said, these niggas really following this motherfucker here. And this man ain't no living example of how to maintain a relationship. Because he didn't have a relationship until he was messing around with somebody. And that was the end result. That was the end result. Dejan, you're right. Someone who believes in family too. Yes. That's an important thing. That's the most important thing. Cream money, I can understand why you say relationship are garbage. It can be garbage. I say the best bet is if you having those type of problem where you run to every issue with every man or every woman, your best bet is to be single. Your best bet is to be motherfucking single. If you're going to run to every problem with every man or woman that you encounter with, your best bet is to be single. And another thing I want to talk about, y'all niggas, woo child. Y'all worrying about how many niggas that Megan Thee Stallion done slept with. Y'all worrying about how many men she done slept with. Guess what? She ain't sleeping with y'all niggas. She ain't sleeping with now one of y'all asses, but y'all worrying about how many guys she done slept with. You worrying about the fact, y'all was worried more about the fact that she was fucking Tory Lanez than the fact that she done got shot. Like, damn, that's where your priority at. The fact that she done fucked Tory Lanez and not the fact that she got shot. And y'all worrying about how many body counts she has and how many men she done slept around with. Like, this is mainly coming from dudes. This is mainly coming from dudes that talking about how many guys that Megan done slept with. She ain't sleeping with you. Why are you worrying about that? She ain't sleeping with your ass. The main important issue that was taking place during that time with the main issue that the main situation that was important was the fact that this girl got shot. Who shot this damn girl? That was the most important thing. But y'all worrying about who she was fucking. Y'all worrying about the fact that her boyfriend was embarrassed. Okay, he was embarrassed. And y'all say he a simp. Well, guess what? You motherfuckers will still be around your girl too if you love her that much. And no matter how it don't matter how many how many times she done broke your heart, how many times she done dogged you out, you still gonna be around. So you ain't in no motherfucking place to talk about that boy being a goddamn self for being around Megan when you know you gonna be around your damn girl too. If somebody says some shit about her, you still gonna stick around. So please miss me with that shit. Now I hope the best for Megan. I hope that she don't ruin her relationship with this guy because it seems like this guy is very supportive and he love her from the bottom of his heart and he want to be there for her. That's the only thing we can hope. And I'm not gonna say that she a great example of what to look up to as far as womanhood is concerned. Not for me. I mean, she's not that example for me. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, we don't know these folks. And this ain't nothing new. Do you know that celebrities be sleeping with each other all the damn time? Have you noticed that they do like a damn revolving doors with each other? It's like a revolving doors. It's like they go from this person, then go to that person, then go to that person. That's nothing new. Sex scandals ain't nothing new. They do that shit all the time. When you get on that mainstream level, you will hear about shit like that. You will hear about stuff like that. So, but if y'all making that focus of the fact that she done fucked Tory Lane, and then you say, well, she lied about, okay, and so what? Okay, and so what? She lied about it. All right. She didn't want to talk about it at the time. Okay, so what? She wanted to focus on the fact that she got shot, not on the fact that she was fucking this boy. But who would want to fuck somebody that talking about demon time? I wouldn't want to fuck with a nigga that talking about demon time. The moment you say that, you a red flag for me. That's a red flag. You talking about demon time? That's a red flag. And that's one thing I can say Megan is at fault of not paying attention to the sign, not paying attention to that red flag. When he started talking about demon time, she wasn't paying attention. She was too busy playing along with that shit. You gotta start paying attention to people when they say certain shit. But it amazes me y'all put so much emphasis and focus on the fact that this girl done messed around with this boy and had sex with him. As if that's the most important thing. But again, we sit back and we allow this shit to have, we allow this to bring a further division between black men and women. And it's stupid. Y'all, it's stupid on y'all part. It's stupid on y'all part. Y'all allow this shit to happen. Not all relationships are garbage, but you'll never know who's who unless you give it a shot. Only way to find loyal people is to swift through people. Santava, I can agree. I can agree. That's why people date. People date because they trying to get to know who is who and who is for them. He put let Megan live, women get to have sex too. I mean, of course. I mean, and it's another thing. How do you expect for a woman to not have sex if you're pursuing her for sex? How do you expect that? It's like this is another thing that gets me. Society make it problematic when women get excited. And somebody posts this up on Facebook, and I have to agree with this individual. And this happened to be a man. He said society would shame a woman for wanting some dick. Society would shame a woman for being excited around men. That's what she's supposed to do. And I agree. But guess what? Society won't shame when people live in alternative lifestyle. When people that are in the LGBT community, that's alternative lifestyle. They won't shame them for that. They won't shame them for having multiple partners. They won't shame them for having unprotected sex. They won't shame them for that. They won't shame them for that. But when it comes to a woman, she had multiple male partners, right? And she got multiple kids. I mean, she got kids by multiple men. That's where the shame comes in. And let me show you where that come from. That's that patriarchal mentality. That's that misogyny mentality. Again, it goes back to patriarchal white supremacy. It's shameful for a woman to do what's in her nature. Because that's her nature. That's her nature to have sex. Now, I don't agree that a woman should go around having sex with multiple men. I don't agree with that. Because as a woman, especially, you have to be concerned about your safety. You have to be careful who you having sex with or who you let into your life, because you don't know what type of mentality that person may have. You don't know what their intentions are. That's why I don't support prostitution. I'm against prostitution because of the safety concern behind it, of the fact that women put themselves in that predicament and they don't know how to protect themselves. They ain't got no type of protection around them. And don't talk about the pimp. The pimp ain't gonna protect you at all times. If you don't pay that damn pimp, guess what? You by yourself. He ain't paying. He ain't protecting you for shit. If you don't pay him, you on your own. Okay. But it's a safety issue. You gotta think about the fact that you don't know this person got certain type of disease, right? You can't be having unprotected sex. And then on top of that, this person might try to kidnap you and goddamn take you somewhere in an abandoned building. You'll wind up dead. Or this person can throw you into sex trafficking ring. And I'm just saying that women who are out there, they got to be careful. They have to be very careful. Don't make a career out of that. Get away from it as much as possible, because you don't want to be that. You don't want that to be your career. You don't want that to be your lifestyle forever. So I don't really condemn those women who are out there prostituting or those who are stripper. Now, if we want to get honest, stripping is like really a form of prostitution in a way. It's a form of prostitution. It's a form of prostitution because you're still selling your body. But the only thing is you're not engaging into sexual activity per se, unless you go into like a VIP somewhere and that person wants to pay you on a low key to do something with them. But other than that, normally as a stripper, what you're doing is you're giving about sexual fantasy. You're giving sexual fantasy away to men. That's what you're doing. And you dealing with strangers. You dealing with people that you don't even damn know. And you getting naked in front of them. So that in itself too can be dangerous. Okay? However, that's how some women get their money. And that's how they have to pay their bills. That's how they have to take care of their family. When they can't find jobs that can help cover up the cost, that's what they do as a side hustle. Or if they in school, they do that as a side hustle. It is what it is. Prostitution been the oldest hustle since the beginning of time, since ancient time period. It ain't gonna change. It ain't gonna change. You know what I'm saying? Prostitution been around since ancient time period, since the beginning of humanity. It ain't gonna change. It's the oldest hustle. Okay? Hey, Easy. How you doing, brother? How you doing, brother? Easy. Shout out to you, brother. Make motherfucker earn it with respect and time, not for a pursuit. Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. Dijon said, and the manosphere repeats those European talking points about black women being promiscuous and needing to submit. That's exactly what I was saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. They do. They fall in line with that. They fall in line with that mentality of the European ideology. You fall in line with that because this is all you know. This is all you know. And this is all that you gravitate towards because we have been able to see an example of ourselves through the eyes of these people that have oppressed us. I'm going to say it again. We have seen the example of ourselves through the eyes of these individuals who have oppressed us. Yeah, I ain't mad at no prostitute, but be careful, ladies. You got to. Manosphere is a bunch of fools. I mean, feminism is a bunch of fools, and manosphere is a bunch of fools. Men who can't get the women they want, so they just get mad. Yeah, basically. A lot of them are bitter. A lot of them are bitter. Just like the feminists, a lot of them are bitter. You got bitter ass feminists and you got bitter ass manosphere. And I blame them for making this whole gender war thing even worse. I blame them because they're not trying to bring some form of coexistence amongst men and women. They're trying to keep us at the antagonizing level and continues to bring the confusion and chaos amongst ourselves. So we allow feminism to bring the chaos and confusion, and we allow these manosphere to bring chaos and confusion, and you got a bunch of bickering. Love Queen, the black love needs to be pushed more than ever in these times. I agree, Brother Easy. I do. I absolutely agree with that. But in order for that to happen, people have to get into the mindset and their mentality that they want to be able to. Yeah, people want to get into that mindset. People got to get into the mindset where they want to be able to bring about more concept of black love. They have to be in that mindset. If you're not in the mindset of bringing black love, you're going to continue to be the problem. You're going to continue to have these problems because you're not having the mindset. It's a hot topic, so people start channels accordingly to get views and liking money. Yeah. And don't, especially when it comes down to a black woman, that's real easy. That's real easy to do videos about black women. It's real easy, especially. Gender wars and diaspora wars all about dividing people. Absolutely, brother Darren. That's what it's all about. And we allow that as a people. We allow ourselves to get caught up in the diaspora wars because of these two different movements, the ADOS and the FBAs, and all the other movements who want to bring divisions. We allow that to happen. We allow these people to come in and tell us that, oh, we're not African people, or we should not be associated with those African people, or we should not be around those type of people because those people don't care nothing about us and they not our people, this, they, other. We create those problems. We allow those problems to take place. We allow those individuals to come in and tell us and brainwash us into that bullshit. And a lot of them don't even know the history. And then when they do, they get some pseudo information. They use confirmation bias instead of studying the history thoroughly. Making things difficult for us all, sellouts and shock jocks. Let me see. Dejan put black love needs to be founded on African principle though, because we don't need no more black couple who are coons. See, the key thing, we have to study what is African principles. We have to study the concept of African principle, Dejan. That's what we have to study. We have to study those principles first. And once we study those principles, then that's how we can be able to base the concept off of black love. But a lot of us was not built on the principle of African principles, right? We didn't know anything about that because we wasn't raised in that type of environment. We don't come from the environment of that. So a lot of people that learn about African culture and principle, they learned that over the years. They learned it outside of their schools. They learned it outside their household. They learned all of that on their own. Okay? We didn't grow up with those principles because we were too distorted. We were too messed up as a people. We were too damaged to even learn about African principles. We've been lied to so many years that we believe the lies. We've been lied to so many years to the point that we believe the lies about ourselves, to where we didn't have no interest in studying African principle. Let's see. It's motherfuckers that don't even want to be African. Of course, Santavo, don't nobody want to be African. Yeah, you got folks that don't want to be African. That's how damaged they are because they believe the lies. Because we ain't been told, when we was in grade school, we would never taught transatlantic slave trade. We didn't know what the hell that was. We didn't know what that was. We didn't know what a transatlantic slave trade is. Did we know that? No, we didn't know nothing about that. We didn't know anything about, we barely knew about the civil rights and voting rights. We didn't know about the domestic slave trade. We didn't know anything about the Middle Passage. We didn't know about none of that shit. Cause that shit was never taught to us. We were taught that we are Americans. We were taught that we were slaves in this country. Our ancestors were slaves. We were taught Dr. Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, which I have nothing against those people. Hell, even about Dr. Martin Luther King, they didn't even go further into him. Because that was more to Dr. King than what we just knew. Then the whole I have a dream speech. Let's see. So is everybody black or African? Well, yes, because the first people that came here to be called black, to be called a Negro, was the African. The African slaves were identified as black and Negroes. They were the first to be identified as black and Negroes. Not no Native American, not no Asian, not no European, but it was the African that was brought over here into this land called America or the New World that were told that they were black. They were Negroes. They were niggas. They were stripped away from their tribal identity. They were labeled as niggers. And that's what was stuck with them for the rest of their life. Niggers. Okay? Now, these motherfuckers denying the transatlantic slave trade, although slaves revolt and narratives are documented. See, that's their fault. That's their fault. The people that's denying that shit, is their fault. It's their fault because they refuse to educate themselves. They refuse to break away from the lies. And those people, sometimes they know, but what they're trying to do is be manipulative so they can be able to gain profit off of individuals who don't really know. But one thing I can agree about the 5% nation. They said the 5%, check this out. 5% of us know the real information, the knowledge. Only the 10%, they know, but they want to be manipulative or they're not dealing with the actual knowledge. And 85% don't know anything. They don't know anything. They are lost and they have no clue. I don't really know about that. It's about what you can prove. I mean, it is proven. If you study the history books, it's proven. If you study the works, it's proven. Who you think be called the Negro? Who you think the Negroes are? Who you think the black people are? I hope you don't think it's Native Americans. Because no, it's the Africans. It's the Africans that came up out of Central West Africa that was brought here into this land as slaves that were called the Negroes and black. But if you want to get technical, there's no such thing as really being black because black is a social construct. But for the sake of this argument, that's who was called black is the African. That's another problem. Well, who is black? Who ain't black? That's another confusion right there that we have. Who is black and who ain't black? If we study the history and we study what they talk about when they say Negroes and niggers and black people, who they referencing to? They're referencing to African Americans. They're referencing to those of African descent. That's who they make reference to. Because the Indians are called the red people. And the brown people will be like the Latino people. The yellow people will be the Asian. And white people will be the Europeans. But the black people are those who are of African descent. Or who are the creolized Africans, the Neo-Africans. Mm. But yes, anyways, to say this, to say all that, we cannot we cannot continuously to let the media dictate to us how we should see ourselves as Black people, how we should be able to view ourselves. If it's not bringing any type of promotion to help liberate us, we should not even allow it to be in our mind. We should not let these things have any type of control or dictatorship over us. But we still want to live through the eyes of these celebrities as if their life is our life. We trying to live up to their expectation, up to their status, as if that's who we are. And that's not who we are. It's not us. We don't live in the eye through these people. We don't. That's right, Centavo. That's right. We are predominantly West African and Central African people. Okay? That's what we are. We are the Neo-Africans. We have a very strong lineage. We have a very strong African identity. But I think it would be a great idea to learn about African culture and African tradition. Now, it's not going to be 100% practical in this society. And not saying that everything about African culture is perfect, because there is some misconception there as well. There is some problems there. So everything about West Africa is not perfect. You know what I'm saying? But it wouldn't hurt to learn about African culture and principles. You know what I'm saying? At least we can apply some of those principles in our daily lives and in our relationship. We can incorporate those principles. So, I mean, I would suggest that's the only thing I can do. I would suggest people to study about African cultures, to study about African principles, and understand a relationship from the African standpoint. That's what I would suggest. Understand African relationship and understand how to go about dealing with relationship from an African standpoint, from an African principle. Incorporate more of that, and I think that will bring a better progress in how we deal with each other and how we live amongst ourselves and how we harmonize. Yep. But anyways, you guys, so I hope you guys enjoy yourself on this Christmas Eve. So happy Christmas Eve to all of you. I know you somewhere spend some time with your family, or y'all getting ready for tomorrow, preparing dinner and all of that. And your family coming in from out of town, and y'all about to sit there and get ready to play some cards and get your drink on, and what I mean, play some video games or watch some games or something. I don't know if the game is on, so I don't even know. I don't keep up with sports like that no more. But anyways, I know y'all up in there helping Big Mama in the kitchen, preparing the food and whatnot. Or you probably going to the store. Be careful because it's cold as hell. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the South, it's cold as shit. And I feel sorry for you folks out there in Chicago. The weather, the temperature out there, -5 degrees, -12 degrees. I feel sorry for y'all. I really do. I feel for y'all. But but yeah, I know you guys out there, what I'm saying, about to get ready to get your big day started tomorrow. So, and then some of us got to go to work, and we won't be able to go and spend no time with our family. You know what I'm saying? We all might have to go to work. We might have to, go out and take care of business and things like that. So, yeah. But anyways, anywho, so you guys go ahead and enjoy yourselves and be safe, and make sure you stay warm. Drinking some damn hot tea, or make sure you drink some damn hot chocolate or some coffee or something. Keep your body warm as much as possible. And until then, I will connect with y'all maybe sometime later on this evening. I don't know. It depends on how I'm feeling. But other than that, y'all make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, share this channel, and thank you all for supporting my channel. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to all the brothers in the chat. All right, and what's up? Gullah Gree, I said, what's up? B.E. Cold. Yeah, boy, cold. He said, oh, was that boy cold? Yeah, boy, it is cold. Yes, it is cold. It is cold outside. I don't see how anybody can stand outside in 8-degree weather. That ain't me. That ain't me. That ain't me. But yes, you guys enjoy yourselves and really take the time out and just be at peace. Have a good time and unwrap those presents. Until then, I will connect with y'all. Thanks for dropping knowledge. Oh, you're welcome, brother Darren. I appreciate that, and thank you for dropping knowledge as well. Thank you. Thank you for reaching out and keeping in touch. I really appreciate it. Thanks to all of y'all, real talk. All of y'all that's on that chat, thank y'all. And to those of you that are watching at home, thank you for watching this video. All right. But let me go ahead and get off of here. Y'all have a good one. Y'all be safe. All right. Peace.